You have observed kitzes. Observed kitzes was very, very dear to the Baal Shem Tov, with knowledge, inseparable. And he was the he was the Baal Tekeya for the Baal Shem Tov. You can imagine that he took, the Baal Shem Tov took for Baal Tekeya. So, when he became the Baal Tekeya of the Baal Shem, it's a very famous thing. I just was remembering it this second. How he was zeich to be next to each other. He was zeich to be next to the Baal Shem. When he became Baal Tekeya, the whole year, the Baal Shem told him a year before, he prepared the whole year, all the kavanas of the Arizal, the Rashash, and all the Yechudim he prepared. You can imagine the Shem, everything he prepared to have ready. And he wrote everything down on tzedluch. He had everything on notes, all the kavanas of the Shemus, the keys. He had everything on papers. You know, the worst thing that could ever happen to somebody is when you have everything prepared on your little tzedluch and someone steals them. But the Ganav was the Baal Shem Tov himself. The Baal Shem Tov didn't like that. And the Baal Shem Tov saw the papers. I observed Shem, where we're going to go now. And the Baal Shem Tov took the papers. And it was only a few minutes before the Tekiyas, and the Baal Shem Tov went into a little room. It's called the Magid Shtul. There's a room with a Mezritcher Magid. You know, Mezritcher Magid was very, very, very sick all the time. And he had a bed. By the Baal Shem Tov Shul, there was a bed for him. He was there until the Germans came in Rashomon. They had even the bed. Until the Germans came, there was a Zoya from the Baal Shem Tov with his name in it, in the Beis Hamikdash. So there was a little room called the Magid Shtul. That's where the Mezritcher Magid used to always lie there. And the Baal Shem Tov took observant to the room, and he asked him, it's going to be now the Tekiyas. What are the kavanas? What's the kavanas? So he was observant for almost fainted. He said, I don't know, I'm looking, I don't know, I had all of the whole year, I'm writing the tzedluch, you know, I had everything ready, the whole year, the kavanas. I don't know where they are. So the Baal Shem Tov took him out from his pocket, and he said, I have, and he wanted to grab them, and Baal Shem Tov said, listen to me. He said to Rav Zev, to Rav Wolf Kitzes, the Baal Shem Tov said, the kavanas, the Yechudim, the Shemus, all the Kabbalah things, he said they're gewaldig, they're very, very great. He says each name, every single name of Hashem and every single kavana, all these things, they open up a different place in Shemayim. They open up a different door in Shemayim. The Baal Shem Tov said there's something that's called Tvir Liba, there's something that's called a broken heart, a broken heart. So what does that mean? The Baal Shem Tov said that forget about all the tzedluch and all the kavanas and all the fancy Kabbalah things. If you come someplace, there's one thing that could open up every single lock, and that's if you have a sledgehammer. So if you have a sledgehammer, you just slam, you just smash through everything, you break all the doors open, break all the locks open. The Baal Shem Tov said, you don't need he said a Jew doesn't need to have, it's a madrega to have. The Baal Shem Tov's whole inyan, which we'll talk about, the Baal Shem Tov's whole inyan is to bring down the word Shem to everybody. And he said it's a broken Yiddish heart, a broken Jewish heart. The Baal Shem Tov says opens up everything. So if each and every one of us is able to have a little bit of a broken heart, broken doesn't mean sad, because you know that chas v'shalom, broken means to become better. The source of the Baal Shem Tov to think of something, each and every one of us in our own, to see that we could become better, to do something better, to change something, not to walk away from such a place like nothing. You know, it's nice, and we're going to have all the pictures and all our good memories and the chaver, and we're here, we're excited to be here. but that each and every one of us should have a tzarach in our hearts, because the Baal Shem said that it opens up everything. And a lot of locked doors nowadays, and we need to open them. And the way to open them is with a pure, broken Jewish heart that wants to become better, that wants to change, that wants to improve. I think that would be the biggest nachas ruach for the tzaddik, Yisod Olam, for the light of the 7 days of creation, and for all the tzaddikim who are here in this oil. When my wife gave me something, I read to one of the chevra, I don't know if I still have it. My wife gave me this, that she said she wanted me to look at it a few times, and when we're driving, we were coming to these places. She just gave this to me. There was a big Svadish tzaddik in Eretz Yisrael, Rabbi Yosef Dayan. He's one of the Nestorim, one of the big Nestorim. And he was very connected to Kivrei Tzaddikim. Meiron, Befrat, he was very, very connected to Kivrei Tzaddikim. And my wife just gave it to me, said, look at this a few times, and I'll just read it to you, it takes a second. It says, I know where it's from. Rabbi Yosef Dayan felt that the graves of tzaddikim are more than merely places where one could effect personal miraculous salvation. He learned from his study of Kabbalah that they also have the power to elevate a person to an extraordinary spiritual level that he would not be able to attain anywhere else. He therefore attributed paramount importance to davening and learning at the graves of tzaddikim. 1 hour of Torah and Tefillah at the burial site of a tzaddik, he used to say, is equivalent to hundreds of such hours in the Beis HaMedrash. When a person engages in regular prayers, tefillahs, that include at least 50 prokim of Tehillim, especially if they are said at the graves of tzaddikim, the prayers are never turned away, Rabbi Yosef would declare. What does that mean? The students would ask, and Rabbi Yosef would respond, sometimes the guards in the world above do not permit a prayer to pass through. When a person repeats his tefillah over and over, like banging with a hammer on the lock, Hashem says, this Jew has not received what he asked for, even though he has asked for it repeatedly, and he still believes in me, and he still trusts in me. If that's the case, I will give him what he wants, even if he doesn't deserve it. So Hashem's Baruch should help us that in the schus that we came all the way here to be near the tzaddik, to be near the tzaddikim, that all of that tefillah should be answered. We should be zoche to see the tchias HaMeis, and these tzaddikim should lead all of us into Shem to Beis HaMikdash. Amen.